Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Tuesday, September 9th, Conservation Commission meeting to order. Start off by introducing the members. And, well, start off by elevating Bill from an alternate to a voting member tonight.
Bill Campbell, past alternate.
Okay. Kristen, you might as well go.
Sure. And
Since we're out
Kristen
there.
Murphy, Conservation and Sustainability Planner for the town.
Keith Whitehouse.
Michelle Crapo.
Andrew Koff.
Dave Short. And Don Clement, I believe, is attending.
Hi there, Don Clement over here in Zoom,
Okay, we got you.
in Zoom land.
All right. Is there any public comment not related to agenda items? Nope. So let's dive right into it. We've got a minimum impact expedited wetland fill application from the town of Exeter for the police and fire substation at 6 Continental Drive, tax map /lot 47/4-11. Brendan Quigley is going to give us a brief overview of the project, and then I want to open it up to the board to ask any questions they might have.
Great, thank you. Brendan Quigley from Grove Environmental Services. As you mentioned, I'm here on the behalf of the town of Exeter this time. With me is Scott Borsier from Gale, who's the civil engineer for this project, and can give you a lot more detail if anyone has questions on the nature of the project itself. But in simple terms, this is the culmination of long-studied alternative for the Exeter Police Station, and as well, I understand, the fire substation to be constructed at 6 Continental Drive, which is shown here in this figure. This is the red box. I delineated wetlands on this property last spring when Dave Sharples had contacted me about it. I had not heard much until just very recently. I believe that the need for a wetland permit hadn't been anticipated until recently. So we're here in sort of with expeditious intents to present to you, which is relatively simple wetland fill, and ask for your support in the expedited application, which is currently in draft form. But again, in order to make use of the meeting this month, we wanted to come and present the project. So the 6 Continental Drive, it's just a 4-acre property, or that's at 2 acres. Again, I'm showing some of these details only recently been involved with, but the 2 wetlands are shown here in green. If any of you are familiar with the site, it has been largely cleared except for the area around these wetlands. That was on purpose. The wetland in the that's right. This area here is the wetland which we are submitting the state dredge and fill application for, and that is a forested wetland. It's isolated other than the fact that it does flow through a culvert under Continental Drive across the street. It's an isolated forested wetland, very marginal hydrology. Right now, bone dry. Then again, most things are right now. It does have hydric soils, but it's really one of those areas that it's really on the margins of being a wetland. It has been flagged in the past as well. So the other wetland is a little bit more of a, in quotes, real wetland. This has some, shrub understory and some deeper pockets which probably contain water for longer during the growing season. I should mention too that this was evaluated for vernal pools, and there wasn't any indicators in either area. In fact, the area that we're filling was actually dry even in the spring last year. So maybe we can move to the plan.
So I'm right that we're not doing a conditional use permit here, it's just the state dredge and fill.
Correct.
Okay.
Being a town project, this is just the state application. That's the existing conditions plan, so let's just make it to the, yeah, this will do. This shows the overall project, access off of Continental Drive, so-called Jillian Lane is here. Our office is actually right here, so we're pretty familiar with the site. There's the wetland on the western side of the lot, and that's being avoided in terms of any impact. And the proposed impact area is located here. And the reason for that is really just to gain space for the development. As you can imagine, there's a need for a fair amount of parking and vehicle movement on a site like this. And that is shown in a different shade because that is proposed to be porous concrete. The building itself, I believe we have 75,000 square feet to house the station and the fire substation. And of course, there's comprehensive stormwater management proposed with this. Most of it, I believe, is subsurface, which is why you don't see any big basins. Again, that's, to conserve space. And if there's any questions about that, I'm sure Scott can answer those. There's, that is pretty much it for the project. It's not well, it might be complicated in a lot of other ways, fairly straightforward as far as the development and the impact. As was mentioned, we have 19, maybe it wasn't mentioned, that impact area up at the front totals 1,900 square feet, which does qualify this for as a minimum impact project. And our hope would be to get your support by way of a signature on that application and submit that for an expedited review period, which is 30 days. That is, so we'd endeavor to get that application completed and made available to you in the very near future. There's a couple of things that we're waiting on that we usually talk about, so I'll mention. There is, we do the natural heritage data check as a part of all the projects that we submit dredge and fills for. As expected, we do have the sort of the usual suspects in the area, black racer and at least one turtle. And so we'll have to go consult with Fish and Game on those. And that may affect the timeline for our expedited review. However, being a relatively simple project in a small area, which is largely developed all around it, I'm hoping that would go pretty smoothly. I think that's as much as I know, actually. If there's any questions.
Yeah, does anybody on the board have questions?
So you said it's just under 1,100 square feet?
1,000, not just under 2,000 square
2,000,
feet.
oh, 1,009. Oh, okay.
1,900. And I do have some pictures, which we could, because it was easy enough for me to get. Pictures, so this is the culvert under, you see Continental Drive in the background. It's kind of hard to tell, as it usually is with these things, what it looks like. But I think my main point I wanted to get across here is this is not a wetland you're going to get your feet wet in, even you know, in a less dry time of year. And some of those other ones were,
Brenda, if we fill that well, or let you fill that, there won't be any need for the culvert, will there?
yeah, the culvert will remain.
Okay.
The plan is there is also a drainage culvert that comes under Gillian Lane here and enters this wetland, and then that flows this way. That's all going to be sort of, that connectivity is going to be maintained in by use of a structure, a manhole structure.
It looked like the pavement proposed would be coming right out to Continental Drive.
Almost, yeah. So there's some grading that would probably be necessary, and so we're accounting for the entire wetland to be impacted. But the connectivity there between the drainage, the existing drainage, is going to be maintained with pipes and a manhole structure. I've never seen water in that area, to be honest, and I've been here every day for
Guess not today.
almost 20 years. So
Is there a reason why it's porous concrete? Is that because of the wetland? What's the design behind that? I'm just curious, we don't usually see that.
I think it's related to not adding any additional runoff to the drainage system, which I believe was largely designed and kind of constrained as it is by the site. So the porous pavement allows that to be subtracted to some degree from that, from having to up the capacity of those structures.
So that area will just drain in, and then it'll probably drain down and maybe even out that culvert, you're saying?
Yeah, can you go back to the plan? So I might rely on Scott to give a more comprehensive answer.
But it'll
we
just
can see-
infiltrate there.
We can see the drainage structure there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this will be
Yeah.
there'll be a manhole structure here with a grate, is that correct? Yeah.
That is correct. So what is proposed is the existing head wall will...
You need to introduce yourself.
Getting a little rusty. Sorry. My name's Scott Borshett with Gale Associates. We are the civil engineering consultant for this project. What is proposed is the existing head wall will be replaced with a drainage structure with a grate. The purpose of that is to collect any stormwater runoff from Gillian Lane and Continental that wraps around that corner, so that flow is able to continue downstream from the roadway. The culvert pipe across Continental and Gillian will be extended, and then at that intersection, a catch basin structure will be installed so that the runoff can continue to migrate as it currently does now. In addition to that, the subsurface stormwater system will also connect to that structure, so that YT intersection will able to allow flow from the site across Gillian Lane to get across Continental as it does now. The reason why we went with porous concrete in this area, unlike the other areas, is this site is has a high ledge profile, lots of boulders, and so a lot of stormwater infiltration is not feasible. We believe in trying to recharge the groundwater as much as we can, the best way we can. Unfortunately, a lot of this site, we're unable to do that. However, in this area, because we have a significant amount of fill that's going in to get this porous concrete to be level with the adjacent bituminous concrete, That's why we decided to utilize the porous concrete surface so that basically your pre and post stormwater runoff is essentially the same.
Okay, so it has to do with the fill, because it's lower, so you have.
We've got a
you
good
have
like
the
8 feet
soil.
of fill that's going
Yeah.
in there.
Cool.
Unlike the others where we're doing about 3 or 4 feet of blasting that's coming out.
Is ledge, not boulders.
We have a high ledge profile in addition to the boulders that you see out on top of the surface.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Okay.
I can attest to all the projects that have gone on in the area and hearing all the blasting. It's very common in this area.
Any further questions?
Good.
Bill?
Oh, I'm all right.
All set?
Don?
All right. Don's not raising his hand, so. All right.
So,
Oh, he did raise his hand.
I think he's unmuted already. He should just be able to speak.
Okay. Don? Nope.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm here.
Do you have a comment?
No, not really. The only comment I have would be, hopefully we're treating this particular expedited request as we would for a private development. I just want to make sure that, we're not cutting corners. And I'm not saying we are. We're cutting corners because this is the municipal one. That's all.
Okay.
That's just a comment off the top of my head.
All right. Then, a suggested motion we have is, due to the fact that the final plans are still pending, and it will hopefully be done sometime in the next few weeks. So in order to not force them to wait till October, the applicant, the town, is seeking Conservation Commission's support to authorize the chair to sign the final application once complete, under the caveat that details presented tonight remain consistent. And a suggested motion is, we support the application as presented and authorize the chair to sign the expedited permit application.
I'll move that.
Bill seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passed unanimously.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I will coordinate with Kristen in the near future on that.
All right. All right. Next one is a conditional use permit application from Public Services of New Hampshire, doing business as Eversource, for continuation of proposed utility maintenance on the existing H141 ACR 115 kilovolt transmission line in the area of Old Town Farm Road, various tax maps and lots. And Andrew Mahoney from TRC, I believe, has a brief overview for us.
My name is Jacob Kwapczewski from Eversource. Andrew couldn't be here tonight, so I'm joined by Jeremy Foote from TRC. So similar projects, structure replacement scope to what folks have seen in the past, where we're taking out the old deteriorated wooden structure, replacing them in kind with a weathered steel replacement, same H-frame, two-pole configuration carrying the existing static and conductor wires. Scope in Exeter is very, very minimal. We have two structures slated for replacement. Both of them will be accessed off of Old Town Farm Road. via an existing gravel access road that was put in place to support previous asset condition replacement scopes in the area. Passing by way of the south side of the right-of-way through gated access road, existing gravel, ready to go as is, no major improvements proposed there. We would then gain access to structure 172. You'll see on the plan here that we're proposing to limit our disturbed area to the uplands only. Once we get through that work pad area, approximately 1,300 square feet of temporary timber matting will be put into place to provide access through wetland complex identified here on the plans as WKCF-1. From there, we'll have regained the existing gravel access road, put in another temporary timber mat wetland crossing, and then that will gain us access to the uplands surrounding structure 173. You'll notice that we have two dots on the plans. One, the black dot represents the currently existing wooden structure, and the red dot represents the replacement structure proposed as part of this project. Both are, because this work is proposed to not incur any disruption of electric power to Eversource customers, we would be drilling and erecting the new structure and transferring the wires from the existing wooden structure to the new. And then once that transfer is complete, we would then section out the existing wooden structure for removal and disposal off-site. This project is part of a larger scope that is proposed to take place in the towns of Sandown, Fremont, in addition to Exeter as well. So we'll be coordinating that work to support all project work with this in accordance with the time of year restriction that was requested of us by the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department. Similar to the gentleman who spoke before us, it's similar cast of characters as what we see typically on these right-of-way projects, primarily being snakes and turtles, which drive the time of year restriction with all work proposed to take place between October 15th and April 1st. So we'll be working under that inactive season. Permits project-wide, we have a statutory permit by notification in DES review currently. We also have an alteration of terrain permit also in review currently with DES. The project scope will involve permitting through the Army Corps of Engineers through the New Hampshire General Permit, and then also through the EPA under the Construction General Permit, which will require Eversource and TRC, who's supporting our project, to conduct weekly construction inspection both during and following project completion until the site is stabilized and revegetated. And I talked very quickly through that, so I'll break for any questions.
It's a good summary, thank you.
Yeah.
This is similar to what you did down where the Rains Farm was, and putting those in.
Yeah, similar scope, similar some work methodology, similar restoration expectations from the earlier scopes as well. As with the gravel road still being in existence today, our standard restoration practice is to take that larger, in the case of 173, it's 100 by 100 work pad proposed. We'll reduce that down to approximately 30 by 60, remaining gravel at the base of each structure to provide a stable work platform in the event we have an outage response need to get out there. We have a stable platform for our crews.
Anybody else?
I was expecting Connor to help review this.
I was expecting him to sit here today too.
He said he would recuse, but he had a meeting.
Yeah, I figured, yeah.
Saw him on the sidewalk 2 days ago, and he said, I'll see you Tuesday. Sure you will.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah. Anybody else? No, Don?
I think
Nope.
we've reviewed these in the past. There's no trails. I mean, that's been the major issue with the ones we've dealt with in the town forest and rains
Not down there.
Yeah.
is pedestrian impacts, but we don't have
Yep.
any here, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
proposed work is in a Eversource controlled easement. So we have, like I said, minimal project footprint in the
Yeah.
town of Exeter this go around, which is nice.
I don't have any other comments.
Do you wanna
We
run through
could
these?
go through the criteria.
Okay, I think it pretty much meets all the criteria for the conditional use. Number one, the proposed use is permitted in the underlying zoning district. Yes.
Yes,
No, number two, no alternative design which does not impact a wetland or wetland buffer, or which has detrimental impact on the wetland or wetland buffer is feasible. I believe they've met that too. Number three, a wetland scientist has provided an impact evaluation that includes the functions and values of the wetlands, an assessment of the potential project-related impacts, and concluded to the extent feasible, the proposed impact is not detrimental to the value and function of the wetlands or the greater hydrologic system. And TRC did have a New Hampshire certified wetland scientist go out, they state, and conduct this functions and values study. And it's completed. Number four, the design, construction, and maintenance of the proposed use will, to the extent feasible, minimize detrimental impact on the wetland or wetland buffers. Well, it's existing gravel, and the impacts in the wet areas are going to be temporary because it's timber matting.
Yep.
So, to the extent feasible, they're doing what they can, right?
Right.
Five, the proposed use will not create a hazard to individual or public health, safety, and welfare due to the loss of wetland, contamination of groundwater, or other issues. It's a parallel use to what's already there. Number six, the applicant may propose an increase in wetland buffers elsewhere on the site that surround a wetland of equal or greater size and of equal or greater functional value than the impacted wetland. And they state that this is not applicable as all impacts to wetlands will be temporary. In cases where the proposed use is temporary or where construction activity disturbs areas adjacent to the immediate use, the applicant has included a restoration proposal, revegetating any disturbed area within the buffer with the goal to restore the site as nearly as possible to the original grade and condition following construction. And in their submission, they did outline their proposals for doing this work, and it looked fine to me. And number 8, that all required permits shall be obtained from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, Water Supply and Pollution Control Division under New Hampshire RSA 485-A:17, and the New Hampshire Wetlands Board under NHRSA 483-A, and the United States Army Corps of Engineers under Section 404 of the Clean Water Act. And I believe that is their intent, correct?
It is.
Okay. All right. That being the case, do we have a motion? Want one?
sure. We've reviewed the wetland conditional use permit application and have no objections to the issuance of the permit.
Second.
Further discussion? All right, that being the case, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Passes.
Thank you.
unanimously. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Next, we have a shoreline conditional use permit application for a 230 square foot addition and 230 square foot parking expansion at 4 Powder Mill Road, tax map /lot 101-02. And Christian, you've changed.
Yes.
Your name is?
John Lorden with Beals Associates, filling in for Christian.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Excellent.
Give us
Thank you. So this is a lot on the corner of Powder Mill Road and Kingston Road. It's an existing 4-bedroom home in the R1 district. There is an existing easement in the top left corner that has an electric building on it. It has a paved driveway and a turnaround area. And that's on the site, that was on the site before the house was built in 2022. The majority of the site is within 150 feet of the Exeter River, and that's why we're here for the conditional use permit. What's proposed is a 230 square footed building addition, that's shown in light blue. Also a 230 driveway, square foot driveway expansion, shown in green, and the red is approximately 199 square feet of temporary disturbance just to allow the actual construction. The remainder of the home, the woods, the lawn, and that entire electrical building area will remain untouched. It's just that area is the point of focus. And that is the project. Happy to take any questions.
What is it currently? What's the land use there? It's just part of the lawn?
It is. It's just lawn area in the back.
It's just, in that, is the edge of woods there is shown, so everything in front of that is lawn, grass?
Yes, correct.
What's the slope back? Is that sloping down towards the river, or is the lawn flat?
It is. The lawn itself is very flat, and then just beyond the lawn, where it turns into the woods, it starts to slope down towards the river.
Thank you.
The impermeable square footage at the moment is, what was it, 20% over, and this is going to bump it up to 23%? I think?
Existing right now is 20.9.
Yeah.
And this would be going up to 23.5.
Yeah.
And those numbers do account for the impervious associated with the electric building
I was going
and
to say,
the pavement.
okay.
Where's the Kingston Road then? Is that the curve? that comes-
It's shown, yes, it's shown just off, it's actually
Oh,
not
there.
shown.
Okay, because I know, I know where you are. and
Yes, this driveway is on Kingston Road.
It's the dip in the road, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the base of the
yeah.
It's the base, yeah, when you start.
middle, yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I can, the addition,
Powder Mills up front, yeah.
I guess I don't really have a problem with, but the driveway looks perfectly functional without.
Yeah. Probably a better understanding what the addition is might be helpful.
Or is it a garage?
It's a garage under, drive-in. So you drive in to the house, you take a left, and it's 2 garage bays. This would be looking to put a sunroom on, and below that, I don't think it's quite big enough for a car, but it would be some sort of bay, additional bay underneath the sunroom that would be accessible from the driveway, and that would be the need for the pavement.
So it'd be like you park your lawn tractor
or your-
under there.
Boats.
Your
something
bicycle.
like that. Bicycle.
Boats, yeah. But you want to access by car.
Correct.
I'm still confused, what is often the case. Where does the driveway go from there? Or does it come out onto,
Well, there should be a pointer there in the top
perfect.
button. It
Come-
takes a bit to wake up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So the driveway comes in, and
Oh,
then this is
got
where
it.
you access the
Now I see.
garage, and this is just a short little turnaround area.
Yep.
And they'll be looking to just fill that in so that they can access
got it,
the new bay.
thank you.
So
So
you're,
the green area is currently lawn.
Correct.
Okay.
no, you're saying part of the impervious area is that electrical building and that their drive?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't
Yes.
even realize that was part of their, yeah, okay,
So this is an easement line.
Yeah.
That's shown, and then this driveway, this walkway, and the existing building.
so that's
part-
included
That's
in
all
the
within that 150 feet, so that's
23% over
included,
the-
yes.
Yeah, okay, I didn't realize that, all right.
I think Don has a comment or a question.
Both. Who is the applicant on this project? I'm a little, like Bill, us less than young people get confused. Is the applicant to expand the driveway and the telephone company building on the corner, or is it for the house?
The electrical building on the corner, it was just being pointed out because that's an existing encumbrance on the property, and it is within the
Okay.
150-foot setback.
I understand.
But the applicant is the homeowner.
Okay, so none of the expansion has anything to do with that utility building.
No, it doesn't. That won't be touched.
Okay, so a comment is that, and I'm certainly sensitive to the homeowner trying to expand his off-street parking. On the other hand, I'm sensitive to the fact that, we need to part of the mission of the Shoreland Protection Act is to try to maximize the amount of natural buffer to the river. So this is a very small incremental change into that. But there's an old saying that goes, the death is the result of 1,000 cuts. And, I get concerned a little bit that we're having incremental, movement to reduce the shoreland buffer. And what's to prevent, say, 10 years from now, the current homeowner or a newer homeowner to come in and say, I want to expand a little further. I want to lengthen my driveway, or I want to lengthen the pad where I park, lawnmowers and things like that. Who's to say that's not going to happen another 10 years from now? I'm just concerned, again, sensitive to the homeowner trying to do the best, making the best of his particular home and property. But again, sensitive to that incremental, reduction of a valuable shoreland buffer. So I don't know,
Yeah.
I wave it back and forth here, so that's my comment.
Sure.
I don't know how we answer that. Or can we answer that at all?
Yeah, it's a good comment, Don. I agree. This sort of coming back for another bite at the apple. I do remember this application, because it had to have come did it come before us?
No, it didn't. So this
I remember the
house
house
was,
being built.
this house was built, was it 2022?
I believe it's 2022.
2022, and they were able to just file for a building permit because there was an existing structure there. And I think
Okay.
a barn or some sort of other big building. And so they met with Doug and I and looked at that, and as long as they stayed within that same footprint, total footprint, they were able to file for a building permit.
Okay. So this is their first.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters to us or not, but that's useful information.
But I believe they got a state shoreline permit at that time.
Yeah, typically state shoreline permits aren't presented to the Conservation Commission, they'd be presented to the local advisory committee, so I don't know the answer to that for sure. I would suspect.
Yep, that would make sense.
So maybe I can answer that.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was there was a barn there. That was an existing barn that actually had been actually caught on fire at some point. But there was an existing footprint. So because it's an existing footprint, the term grandfathered uses, it comes into effect, in play. So as long as you stayed within that footprint, as you said, from a town perspective, there was no need for a permit other than a building permit. And from a state perspective, there was no need to do anything because you weren't encroaching. You weren't further encroaching. You were repurposing that particular footprint. So that's the result. That's why it didn't need to come before the Conservation Commission. And I don't think it came before Exeter Squamish River Local Advisory Committee for the same reason. It didn't need a state permit.
Just to answer his question earlier, he was saying, what if someone came back, they came back again in 10 years? Clearly, we'd have to go through this process again, and you would get a chance at that time. It's not like we're just gonna, this approval would allow that to continue. We'd have to come back.
Well, that's assuming somebody was here that was, in 10 years, that's here now.
Oh, I'll be here.
That's right.
Hopefully.
You know,
Of course,
institutional knowledge.
yeah.
Anybody have any further thoughts or questions?
One thing I'd like to note that I didn't get a chance to say is the back of the house right now has a current drip edge. There's a stone drip edge that runs along the back of it, and we are intending to run that along the back of the house and the driveway just to help capture any stormwater, give it a chance to get into the ground before it does run over the grass and then down towards the river.
And then, the original application did not include calculation of the utility structures in the impervious cover. I encouraged them to put that. So technically, the homeowner's responsibility moves it from 14.9 to 17.5. So not quite as high as what was shown in the application. But because it's all one lot, I felt we needed the total lot coverage.
And what's allowed in that zone? Impervious cover?
Anything above 10.
Above 10, right?
Yeah.
Well, what about making a condition for no further bites at the apple? If we were to go ahead and approve this.
I don't know.
Can we do
I
that?
know that we can sort of restrict someone
On their property.
on their property in that way, but we could recommend it.
Yeah, generally, we have the relief valve of a conditional use permit
Yeah,
for that purpose, so.
okay.
And Kristen said she'd be here 40, 50 years.
All right.
I'll make chair. That's
But yeah.
Well, in that case, then, let's go over the,
So, but just to be crystal clear, are they gonna pour a foundation? Is this gonna be like a raised, pour foundation?
Yeah, there'd be a slab that the
Yeah.
bay part portion would be on, and then constructed up above that,
Okay,
so that the sunroom area would tie into the second level above the garage.
I see.
Four season.
How thick is the slab?
Guessing 8 inches, I don't know if that's been designed, but a typical garage slab.
Okay, thank you.
What's the condition of the wooded buffer? Is it fairly intact, or?
Yeah, it looks-
Overstory only, or?
Only looking at it from Google Maps, it looks like it hasn't been touched. It looks like they installed the lawn area, and beyond that has not been has not been touched. It does start to slope down, like I said, so it's not much usable land without trying to fill it and bring it up, so I think it's just been maintained as the lawn area.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of where I was going too, and maintaining that buffer, the existing buffer, and/or the lawn area. I don't know if they could, if we have any recommendations on the lawn piece in terms of
Maintaining.
fertilizer use, or are they already not allowed to use fertilizer within that area?
Yeah, houses,
Can.
properties within the shoreline district, anything but lime is prohibited unless you are establishing new vegetation, in which case the planning board has to provide a waiver.
So they can only use lime?
Yeah.
We could reiterate that could be I don't know.
That probably.
I don't know if there are any other sort of do we have best management practices or other sort of information? I don't know if we can use this as an opportunity to communicate with someone within the shoreland area about land management.
I mean, I'm sure the state has fact sheets. We don't
Yeah.
have a town of Exeter
Yeah.
fact sheet.
Well, why don't we go through the conditions and then we'll see where that.
All right.
gets us.
The first conditional use, A, the proposed development will not detrimentally affect surface water quality to the Exeter River or result in unhealthful conditions due to minor residential expansion. Although the expansion is within the town of Exeter's Shoreline Protection District, as a residential use with limited expansion, a stormwater plan is not required. An existing 2-foot wide stone drip edge around the rear of the house will extend around the proposed building addition. Everyone okay with that? The project will utilize the existing on-site septic system for residential waste without the need for expansion. In addition, there will be no on-site storage or disposal of hazardous or toxic waste at the project site. And that was stated in the submission also. The proposed development will not result in any damage to spawning grounds or other habitat. The residential expansion is outside of all wetlands and their buffers. D, the layout has been designed to minimize disturbance within the Shoreline Protection District and complies with use regulations identified in Article 4.3.4, with the exception of the following, which is part of this conditional use permit request. They presently exceed the maximum lot coverage for impervious cover, and the limit in this article is 10% of impervious cover. They are requesting an impervious lot coverage of 23.5%, which is up from an existing 20.9%.
And Kristen said it was 17 without the.
Without the utility, it was 14.9, and they're going to 17.5.
Yeah. And given the limited residential expansion, recreational, and aesthetic values associated with the shoreline and river environment, okay, there should be a comma here. Given the limited residential expansion, comma, recreational aesthetic values associated with the shoreline and river environment will be preserved, and the intent and purposes cited in 9.3.1 are met. That makes more sense. Anybody else have anything to add? case,
This lot has nothing to do with a couple of old mill runs out there.
No,
They're further on.
yeah,
on the river.
correct. In fact, between the edge of this lot and the river is the tiny juniper, no, Clemson Fabrics Conservation Land. That includes
Oh.
but the mill site is further
Yeah.
downstream.
all right, I would like to throw out a suggested motion. We have reviewed the shoreline conditional use permit application and are in support of the application as proposed with following a slight amendment of recommending they try to use best practices in that buffer zone, maintain the buffer, the forested buffer that's there now, and try not to contribute additional nitrogen or other such fertilizers to the site. That's it. Okay. Michelle seconds it. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. That's unanimous.
Thank you all.
Okay,
Thank
you.
thank you. All right. Let's see.
We did 3 applications in under an hour. That's, Dave, congratulations. That was record.
Well, now we'll really dig into the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's never happened before.
Due to our strong leadership.
Strong leadership.
Well, or incoherent, one of the two. Okay, I guess, do we have anything under committee reports? Nick isn't here on the Halloween pup parade. And property management, do we?
Are we doing the outreach or property management?
Which,
Property management, do we have anything for that?
Nope.
Okay, so outreach.
who's working on the pup parade? I thought Nick was, wasn't he?
Nick,
I don't think that we got it down to that level. Just in terms of planning, I did reach out to Parks and Rec. They historically did, so they do the kids' Halloween parade, and they used to have a dog pet component, but they stopped doing that because it's in the parkway and you can't have dogs in the parkway. So theirs is on October 25th in the morning. So in terms of planning, if you don't want to detract from attendance at that, I would avoid that date.
Where are they gonna do that?
Swayze,
Oh, they are?
That's
Yeah.
just for kids, not.
not the
kids,
dog.
Okay.
not dogs.
The Halloween.
So kids costumed as dogs are allowed. They just better stay off it.
Historically, they invited dressing up the pets and having a pet contest, but they stopped doing that because they're holding it in the parkway now.
You're dressed in a dog suit, you have to stay off the grass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dressing as dogs is common.
yeah. I misunderstood.
All right, well, then we'll let Rec handle that one. Any other committee reports?
Well, just to be clear, are we moving that forward or are we not, or we don't know?
If Rec's doing it, why?
Yeah.
No.
They're not doing the
They're not
dog
doing
part.
Well,
the
that's
dog
right,
part,
yeah.
but,
I guess my point was we're not duplicating effort by doing it.
right. I feel like we sort of would be, except when we just have the dog component, but then all the other components would be duplicate. I didn't realize they were having something that weekend.
And this is at Rains.
Yeah, so that was the concept.
Yeah.
I did go and talk to Stephen today, and he did ask if we were planning an event for October, and I mentioned this
Yeah.
as a possibility. He was good with that. With He also said that thought he would be done by the end of the year, which I thought was encouraging. And he's making some progress. I saw today, look what he was doing, was looking really good from the inside, which I had not seen. Also, at Rains, they have gotten quite a ways on the fire detection system, which is not complete, but it's getting there. They built the box, or the closet, and they put the monitoring panels in many of the monitors. And interestingly, they set them to different temperatures based on the height of the, of where the monitor is. So at the very top of the barn, it's much higher than down low. So as far as the detection goes, you think, okay, well, it's a smoldering hot day, is it gonna go off? Well, no. Because the top of the barn is set at a very high temperature to be, thought that was kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah, because it probably gets real hot up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was encouraging
Wow.
to hear him say that he really thought he could be all wrapped up.
What is he doing inside right now?
Well, he's doing the outside, but he had to replace some of the boards that behind the clapboards
Okay.
because they were really in tough shape. And he was priming, painting today. Did offer to, Dave and I had spoke about offering to give him a hand, and he said he may take us up on that. So, thought that was encouraging. Also, we would like to strongly encourage that to get done this year, so that we can have full use of it, with the scaffolding down and everything. So, it did seem that he was on very much the same page with that. So that was very good.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And any other committee reports? Kristen?
So Sustainability Advisory Committee, October 25th in the morning, we're hosting another styrofoam collection event out at Public Works. Denise is working on a donation of the box truck, so that's how we got it up last time. Penske or Welsh Management did that, so I think that we're covered for transportation. Energy Committee and Sustainability on September 9th. So September 20th are participating with a table at the team Fall Equinox event to promote the styrofoam facility, which should be online in late November, early December of this year at the transfer station, our local one, and also the collection event. And then Energy Committee is presenting the window dressers program, which they've opened up again. So orders are open. The ordering window is open, and they'll be taking orders up until November 30th this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a cool program.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they signing up volunteers yet?
There is a sign up available on the website, but it's so far out that we're
Yeah.
really not, the push right now is for
January.
orders.
For orders.
This year, we have opened it up to the full SAU towns, so it's not just Exeter specific. And so the work now has been, Stephanie and the team have been very busy making connections in the individual towns to find folks who will promote it within their community.
Yeah.
Is it going to be at the town hall again?
Yeah, January 15th through the 22nd, I
Yeah,
think.
that worked out really well.
They've got quite a system.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything just,
Yeah. And then I did not attend the last River Study Committee, and Trevor's not here. But I believe they had a presentation on the conditions and potential options for the dam at the reservoir off of Portsmouth Ave. So all of those videos are online if that's something that's of interest to you. And I think we have a meeting this week or next, so I'll know more after that.
all right. If that's it, we've got some minutes to approve from the August 12th meeting. Anybody,
I didn't see any problems.
any problems with it? No? None?
I'm sure you have 5 people here that were there. I was not there.
No, I think we had I don't think we had any
He
alternates.
was counting in the room today of the people who
Oh,
were there.
oh, oh.
who-
I don't know, I think that's sort of an informal thing. I don't know that that's a rule that you can't vote on a minute just because you weren't there.
Yeah, as long as you did the work to
Look at it.
confirm that it's accurate.
No, but how would I know if it was accurate of it?
We have video footage, maybe you
Not
watched
sure.
the meeting.
Want to, should we do that now?
Watch the meeting?
Yeah, sure. That was a quick one,
Yes,
Yeah, that wasn't too bad either, I
though.
guess.
That was pretty good.
Oh.
Actually, this one's gonna beat it, I think.
Okay. Noting no errors or omissions,
Okay.
I'm going to move that we approve the August 12th minutes as written.
Second.
We have a second from Michelle. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None. Passes
I did
unanimously.
forget an important thing, update to provide.
You didn't?
I did forget. So the tree committee has made some significant progress and has a couple big projects coming up. We now have our tree dashboard. If you remember me talking about it, we had a contract with Rockingham Planning Commission to create kind of like this live interactive method to take a look at all of our street trees, all of their conditions, and Public Works can use that to prioritize maintenance needs. We can use it to keep up-to-date information on the status of the trees as we continue to plant trees. And when they're trimmed, we can update that information. So it's not a static shot of the conditions of our street trees. I had been seeking volunteers and working with a small core of volunteers to go out and individually collect data. Our GIS coordinator, Linda Burbank, was able to pull in all of our 2017 tree data. So we went from having like 100 tree, data on 100 trees to over 900, which was fantastic. So now that is up and running. We're still doing a little quality control on the data, but it seems to be working decently. We have some kinks to work out, but I'm excited to put that forward. And then I will also be,
Is it like a ARC dashboard thing?
yeah, like an ARC dashboard.
Experience?
I could bring it up if you want, or after or something, but
Send us the link to it. Is
on
it
the
once it's-
website, if you search tree committee, it's on
on
their
there.
page,
It's on
or
there.
tree inventory,
Cool.
it's on there. And then there's, and I will also be applying on their behalf for a $25,000 grant from PREP, Piscataqua Regions Estuaries Partnership. It's one of their climate impact grants to supplement our tree purchases so that we'll be able to, the purpose of the grant is mitigating urban heat. And so hopefully, if we're awarded that grant, we'll have a lot more funds and can be really targeting some planting in the next 2 years. And so the area that we're focusing on is Front Street, because we know Portsmouth Ave has some near future plans for work, and so.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Targeting Front Street is one of the higher
It's very
heat
open.
island.
Yeah.
It's very open, there's sidewalks there, there's some utilities we'll work around, but, anyway, so part of that also includes an educational component, and we're thinking of maybe having signage on the trees and some public events around the benefits of trees and their role in climate mitigation.
I think that'll be important to look at what's happened to some of these trees this year. I've noticed a lot of dead. I'm expecting them to die this year because of the drought. This year has been terrible for some trees.
I'll defer to a tree person on that, I don't
Well,
know.
I think a lot of dead trees you see are the ash trees. Those
Yes,
are,
those are
Oh.
gonna be gone
there's
We had
in
one.
15 years.
Oh.
It's gone.
not even, yeah, they're going fast. And,
It's accelerating.
and beach trees,
The beech trees
Yeah.
too.
Beach trees, the
Yeah,
beach
they-
leaf disease is crazy.
yeah,
The beech trees.
taking them like that, especially American beach.
Yeah.
But it's going after European too.
I haven't seen the trees die, but they look like they will.
Small
Well,
ones.
I was up by my old house in Stratham the other day, behind, on the backside of Stratham Hill Park, and it was loaded with
Yeah.
American Beach. And I hardly saw one that wasn't either dead or you could just tell.
Yeah, you can
The
tell
canopy
instantly.
was wiped out.
Yeah.
There was very little left.
Crazy.
It's going to really change the character of that area.
Yeah, in a matter of 2 years, I mean,
Yeah, it came out, well, it feels like it
feels
came out
like
of
it
nowhere.
came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Academy has a whole bunch back of where I used to live, off High Street, and which I thought were beautiful about 30 years ago. And
Yeah.
there's a lot going.
Gone.
Yeah, you got to be kind of strategic in what you try to save because it's going to be impossible to, you can't go out in the forest and start treating trees. Because there are treatments, a treatment.
For the beach?
Yeah, but it's very expensive. And, to do a general application of it would be very prohibitive, kind of like the injections for the woolly adelgid. You can do it, but you got to kind of pick and choose what you're going to try to save. So, all right. Our next meeting is October 14th, and the submission deadline is October 3rd. And I would make a motion at 8:08 to adjourn.
Second.
I'm sure there's no discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.
Thanks. Made sure
Thank you
got
for
that
tuning in to
timestamp.
Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.